Today, my dear sisters and brothers, I'm going to leave you with three very practical things that we can all do. First and foremost is make a change in our du'as. Instead of asking Allah to grant victory to the Palestinians that we have been doing for over 100 years, ask Allah to make you, personally you, a means of victory for the Palestinians. Ask Allah to grant you personally, not the Ummah, not your community leaders, not your organizations, but you personally, the wisdom, the strength, and the resources to contribute effectively and with results to the victory of the Palestinians. Do not ask Allah to defeat the Zionists. Ask Allah to make you the cause of that defeat of the Zionists. Ask Allah to grant you the wisdom to facilitate the victory of the Palestinians. At least pray that you have the wisdom to contribute in any way towards their victory. The second thing that we can do, remember that this is a battle. This is war. This is not a natural calamity. This is not an earthquake. This is not a flood. Whenever a natural calamity comes, we immediately send food, we send medicines, we send basic needs, and we donate a lot to the charity, which is great, which is our duty. And then after that, we think our duty is done. We go home happy. Dear brothers and sisters, tell me, what do you do when the Ummah is in a battle? When the Ummah is in a war? The first and foremost thing that you do is you support the soldiers. And how do you support the soldiers? Do you send them food? Do you send them clothing? All that comes afterwards. Medications, all that comes after. The first thing you support, which becomes your number one obligation, is you support them with weapons to fight the war. And who, my dear brothers and sisters, are the soldiers of today? These are not necessarily in Gaza. These are the media personalities today. These are the few precious politicians raising their voice. These are the students. These are the social media influencers who are influencing millions and millions of people's opinion. These are the peoples who are driving the public opinion, the change in public opinion. These are Jews, these are Christians, these are Muslims, these are Arabs, non-Arabs, Americans, everyone. These are the soldiers of today. And our number one obligation is support them. How do we support them? Of course, with your du'as, with your time, and most importantly, with your money. There are organizations today who are advocating on behalf of Palestine, on behalf of Gaza. Muslim organizations, so many out there. You can support them with your donations, if not, with your time. And this one becomes your number one obligation. On campus, there are so many students still facing expulsion from schools, suspensions. You can support attorneys who are fighting their cases financially. You can support people who have been fired from their jobs, who have lost their career simply because they raised their voice on behalf of the Palestinians. You can support financially. You can hire attorneys. You can fund social media personalities. You can subscribe to their accounts on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. If you see today, some of the best content out there is by these influencers. Some of the actions that have brought response from the Israeli government was for the protests. They are targeting social media personalities. They are targeting the media on television channels, on social media. Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu once said, if you want to see who the most effective soldiers are among you, look at the direction of the arrows of your enemy. Turn around and see who is being targeted and support them. Those are the people who are at the forefront in the battle. A famous visionary, scholar, Shah Waliullah Dehlavi, once said, when a community is faced with a calamity, it is in its hands to make it a punishment or azab or a mercy, rahmah. How? How can the same thing become either azab or rahmah? He said, if you suffer thinking that you are being punished, then it is a punishment. However, if you look for opportunities in the calamity, Allah will turn it into a rahmah for you. Always keep an eye out for those opportunities. Remember what happened with the Mongols. The greatest calamity Muslims had faced turned into a rahmah when they became Muslims. They ruled the entire subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, was from the offspring of those Mongols. Islam and Muslims, they converted. In that region, it was from the offsprings of the Mongols. The third point that I would like to mention today, and the last one that you can do, is find some time to educate yourself. Educate yourself about how the public opinion is made. Learn how party manifestos are made, how the Democrat Party has a platform, how the Republican Party has a platform, how other parties have a platform, how these platforms are made. Understand the role of delegates in political parties. What are delegates? Do we know? These are the people responsible for assigning who runs for which office, for formulating a platform, which lobby a party should follow, which lobby the party should oppose. Understand how the minds of politicians work. Spend some time educating yourself. Yes, we are all watching hundreds of images of the carnage coming out of Gaza because we feel for them. We are one body, one ummah. But they need you as American Muslims to be aware of the system. This is their need, and you have to fulfill this.